Okay. And have yourself a merry little Christmas day. Okay, my video's coming through. I think we're live now. Okay. That was a nice little introduction, I think. Let me get on my... oh, here it is. Here's my Christmas graphics. I hope I look very festive. Everything is decorated. And there's additional graphics on the screen. So I hope everything looks good. It's December 19th. It's 7 p.m. at night. I usually do this at 10. But I've been backed up between real estate showings and getting everything ready for Christmas. And but I'm going to see. Maybe I will keep it at 7 o'clock and have a repeated performance like next Saturday at 10. So I'll see which time slot works better. I thought maybe it's best to get you guys up early, but maybe there's more people chilling at home around 7 o'clock to watch. So maybe I'll get rid of this graphic right now. I was going to wear this hat, but I can't get it on my fat head to stay. So I did the special graphics here. So again, it's right before Christmas. And I hope everything is well with everybody and you're ready for the holidays or whatever you celebrate. I hope all is well. And let's start, I guess, first with our preview about what we're going to talk about today. I'm having a... Okay. I'm checking out the sound quality on this side here. Okay. So I'm having my lovely cup of cocoa, getting ready for the show. You see what we're going to talk about. All right, just to wet my kisser a little bit. And today we're going to talk about the 5 steps to follow when applying for forbearance. And before we get deep into the topic, I just wanted to check in with my producer, Leonard. I heard that Leonard went back home to the former Soviet Union for the holidays. Let's check in with him. Leonard, are you there?
Yes, Chris. I am back in the former Soviet Union for Christmas to be with my family. I wish you, your wonderful family, and all your audience a Merry and Christmas and Happy New Year. I am here celebrating brothers Dima, Dmitry, Igor, Leonid, Mikhail, Nikolai, Ola, Eliska, Sasha, Victor. Then there are my sisters Anna, Marina, Katina, Karina, Christina, Lada, Lilia, Marisha, Natasha, Yelena, and Sasha.
Okay. All right. Well, thank you, Leonard. Stay warm while you're out there. Let me get rid of this nose here because we're going to talk about some serious stuff. And, I have so many gadgets on the computer here to mess around with. So let me get this away here for a bit. Okay. All right. But there's other fun stuff I could do with this thing. Just to, if I want to, make it like it's snowing. I love this program. Okay, now it's snowing and getting ready for Christmas. But all right, let's get back to some serious work here. Now, to shift gears, we have some positive news on the horizon, especially with the vaccine. And with many of my live streams, I've been saying that there's two things that this country needs, is that we need a new stimulus package and we need to get the COVID-19 under control and then eradicate it. And we're having some positive events with the eradication of the virus, with the new vaccines coming out. So there is light at the end of the tunnel, but there's still lots of people in trouble, all right? And we see that when we see footage of people waiting in long, long lines getting food supplies. But we are also aware of people who either cannot make their rent because they are laid off and unemployed, all right? They might be furloughed, or it's very possible that the businesses that they work for has closed completely. So things were well up to, I guess it was the end of September. I think it was the end of September when the extra $600 of unemployment stopped, and now people are having hard times making ends meet. And they're not paying their rent. Now, everything affects everything else. It's a little bit like It's a Wonderful Life, when we find how much one person's life affects the other. Well, the same thing with this situation. People not having their money to pay rent then leads now to the owner of those properties, who most likely will still have an existing mortgage on it. If it's free and clear, then it's okay. But if it's if they still have a mortgage on it, now they're having problems making those mortgage payments to their property. Okay, so we may have in 2021 more of a foreclosure market, but mostly with homes that were investment properties. Okay, so that might happen. And but Congress has to act fast. All right. Now, what we're going to discuss today is, if you are having financial difficulties, if you have a property where you cannot make your mortgage payments, we're going to go over the steps on how to prepare for that. So what I'm actually going to show you first is a video that will put everything in a nutshell, and then we'll go over it step by step. Okay, so let's look at this step-by-step process. I'm going to put a graphic up on the screen and hope that comes up nice and clear. And we want to, okay. And let's see if I move down a little bit here. If you're able to see all the text, let's see. No, I'm actually going to have to put it, I'm going to make me look smaller. Okay, where am I? Okay, let me make myself look smaller. And, okay, I'm behind the package. You don't need to see me, but I'm behind the red package. There's a nice graphic there. Okay, so let me go back to 5 steps to follow when applying for forbearance. Okay, so this breaks it down step by step. And just to go quickly over here, if currently feeling the stress of affording your mortgage payment, or if you know someone who is, there's still time to get help. For homeowners experiencing financial hardship this year, the CARES Act provides mortgage payment deferral options, creating much needed relief in these challenging times. It is important, however, to understand how forbearance works. It's not automatic. You need to take action now and apply for the program before these options expire. And before I continue with that, it's best to contact your mortgage provider when you are in the position, and do it before you actually cannot make payments and you've missed a payment or 2 payments. Work with them when you know you cannot make your next payment. It's best to do it that way. It's best to be a step ahead of the process, or let's put it a step ahead of what may happen in a negative way if you're having difficulties paying your mortgage. So if you know that the next month you really can't make that mortgage payment, contact your service provider, your mortgage holder. What gets confusing, by the way, is that in most situations when you close with a certain bank, all right, and I'm just going to say the ABC mortgage company, and let's deal with a mortgage company. They will, within, let's say, 30 to 45 days, or maybe 30 to 60 days, they will sell that mortgage out to a service provider. All right. Now, and it's actually being sold to investors, but then it'll be serviced by a mortgage servicing company. In other words, they'll send you out the bills when it's due. They'll make sure that the payments are coming in. The reason why mortgage companies sell these mortgages because it allows more money for them to receive to write more mortgages, right? So they provided you with a mortgage, let's say $100,000, but they want to provide a mortgage for somebody else coming in to their mortgage company. And the way they refill their vaults is by selling these mortgages out. And then when they sell these mortgages out, then they're serviced by other companies. So you might have started with the ABC mortgage company, but now you're being serviced by the XYZ company, and you're making your payments to them. So you have to look at your statements about who to contact. But before we even go to that, a study by the Urban Institute determined approximately 400 homeowners who became delinquent after the pandemic began have forgone forbearance and become delinquent. These borrowers may not know they are eligible for forbearance. Thankfully, there's still time to apply for forbearance, even if you're just learning about it. Doing so may be the game changer you need to stay in your home just when you need it most. All right? And let's move down to here. These 5 steps have been produced or written up by the Consumer Financial Protection Bureau, or the CFPB, and they publish 5 steps to follow when requesting mortgage forbearance. So, number 1, find the contact information for your servicer. Okay, so it's no longer going to be with your original mortgage company. In most situations, it'll be with a new servicing company. So look at your mortgage statement to find the phone number for your servicer, the company you send your mortgage payment to every month. The CFPB encourages you to use the number on your statement to avoid scams. Oh yeah, that's a very good point. And there's so many more scams going on now, especially during the holidays, and especially because of the current situation that we are in now with the COVID-19, with people losing their jobs, with shutdowns, okay? There's a lot more scams out there, so be careful. And if it's like it says here, make sure you call the service provider on your statement. Ask if you're eligible for protection under the CARES Act. So most of the CARES Act will involve homeowners with federally backed loans, such as FHA, VA, USDA, Fannie Mae, and Freddie Mac. In addition, some private services are also providing a forbearance program. So even if you're not backed by these government agencies, FHA, VA, USDA, Fannie Mae, and Freddie Mac, call your lender, okay? They may have a special forbearance program for you. And when you speak to them, depending on your plan available to you, there are different options you may be able to consider. Your servicer will help you get a better understanding of what's available. So the CFPB recommends that you ask the following. What happens to the payments I miss? What are my repayment options? When will repayment be due? And are there any fees? And there's no way for me to answer this specifically. You need to call the service provider. You need to call the lender. Now, what might they say? Some things they say. They may add the missed payments to the mortgage. They may extend your mortgage by a couple months towards the end. There may be a balloon payment to pay on the missed payments. So let's say if your mortgage was $1,000 a month, when you're out of your forbearance, they may ask you if you missed 5 months, if you could make a $5,000 payment, or they might spread it out. I mean, there's different ways they could go about it. They might just add it to the principal of the loan, and you'll have a longer time to pay back your mortgage payment. Okay, and where they also ask here, what are my repayment options? Do I have to make that? How long do I have before I have to make a payment? Does it have to be a full payment? Is it going to be again added to my principal balance and refinanced? And also, are there any fees for doing this? And as I said before, that's going to be dependent on your service provider or your private lender. There's no way for me to say, yes, it's going to be this way, yes, it's going to be that way. Now, there are some people who say once you call in, and by the way, this is information that I've been reading on different social media sites. Some of them have been in articles. some are saying as soon as you call in for a forbearance program, it may ding your credit, all right, because you're having financial difficulties. It's possible that it will because you're going into a special payment program. But personally, if you're having financial difficulties in paying your mortgage and you have to go into a forbearance program, even if it dings your credit, but at least you're not having a problem with the possibility of losing your house, correct? So you got to weigh out what's most important. So if you really need the forbearance and there's a chance your credit may get dinged, but you have to weigh out what you have to do. If you really can't make the payments, then you have to ask for the forbearance program. And then here the CFPB also says, ask your service to provide the agreement in writing. And I think that's very important because, again, this seems that there's no set way of handling this. If we know exactly what the bank would do when it comes to fees, when it comes to repayment options, if it was set in stone by every single bank, then you would be fine. But since it's going to be different in each situation, get that forbearance agreement in writing. So the bottom line, help us out there for homeowners in need, but it's important to apply now while the benefit is still available. Consumer Financial Protection Bureau says, don't wait. Forbearance is not automatic. It must be requested. Reach out to your mortgage provider today so you can get the assistance you need to protect the hard-earned investment you made in your home. Okay? So, as with anything, any situation where you have a credit line, if it's a credit card, if it's a car payment, whenever you have, and then am I back on the screen here? Where am I? Okay, here I am. Okay, whenever you have, or if you're having financial difficulties, it's best to contact either your credit card company, your mortgage company, your car loan company. If you have student loans, it's best to contact them before you start missing payments and see what plans they have to get you back on track. Don't wait until you've missed one payment, two payments, three payments. Make sure that you are on top of things and speak to your providers as soon as you become aware that you will have financial difficulties, okay? So that's all we're going to talk about today. So today is the show before Christmas. Our next one will be the day after Christmas, which is also Boxing Day in European countries. Boxing Day is the day that people will go to their neighbors and friends and bring gifts. A lot of times it's food. I believe the tradition began with farmers, and they would bring, fruit, vegetables, fruits. I guess if they raised animals, if it was food, if it was steaks or whatever, but they would go visit their neighbors. And I kind of like that tradition. I don't want Christmas to end, 12 o'clock, 11:59, midnight on Christmas Day. It actually goes to January 6th. And I like to celebrate it during that period. That time to me is the true Christmas season. So we will have a show, and I'm thinking I'm gonna do the 26th and the January 2nd show at 7 p.m. just to try it out And if I get more feedback, then I might just keep it at 7 p.m. And so next week we'll just have what I would say a year in review, and I'll show some highlights from my live stream broadcast, make it like an end of the year special. And so I would like to do that next week. And I'll keep it at 7 p.m. and it'll be it'd still be like a Christmas special, but the end of the year. And we'll look back at how the year went. We'll show some segments from my live stream, and then we'll talk about what to expect in 2021. Okay? So before we go off, let me see. I hear that Leonard is calling me, that we have maybe a special guest in our audience. Hold on, I really want. I don't know why I'm having a hard time with it. Okay, I apologize. Okay. Let's see if this. Just give me a chance to boot up this or load up this video. He's still waiting. Have some cocoa if you're waiting here. Let me see if I could get this video up here. All right. But like next week, if I can't get this video straight here, I'll show it next week. It's a special celebrity we have in our audience, and I hope this one works. Okay. And meanwhile, I'll play some as it's loading up. I'll play some festive music as that's loading up. And I think this might be, because it's taking long to load, this might be the video that I needed. Where's my hand? Okay. Will you finish loading up so I can't show the show? It's taking much too long to load. Oh. Let's all sing along. Okay, let's see if this is Leonard now here. Let's see.
Chris, great news. We have a famous celebrity in the audience. Born in Grand Island, Nebraska, he grew up in Mason City, Iowa. He traced his love of puppets to the moment when his father made him a simple string puppet when he was 8. In 1921, he attended a local performance of the Tony Sarg production of Rip Van Winkle, which cemented his interest. By the time he was 14, he was creating his own puppets and giving performances in the attic of his parents' home. Ladies and gentlemen, Bill Baird and his puppets.
Deck the halls, deck the halls with boughs of holly, fa la 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 la, plum plum. 'Tis the season to be jolly, fa la 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 la, plum plum.
All right, so that was nice. I'm glad to see them in the audience. I thank you very much. And Leonard, I hope you're well and enjoy the holidays with your family back in the former Soviet Union. So since it's the show before Christmas, I wanted to end with a video that I made a few years ago. And it's actually was something I did after I wrote a letter to the editor of the Daily Press about how I would like to see Christmas, or in the sense that I would like it to be where everything is right with the world. And they actually published it. And then I said, let me enhance it and make a little video for it. So the video is actually the text that I wrote for the Daily Press, and so I want to end with wishing everybody a very, very Merry Christmas, a safe Christmas. Be as much as you can with your family. If you have a big family and you really shouldn't be together, I hope you have all the apparatus and paraphernalia to do a Zoom meeting. But be well, be safe, have a loving Merry Christmas. I'll show my video now. It's about Christmas. It's a little religious, but it's about Christmas. But I wish everybody, whatever holiday you celebrate now, I think maybe Hanukkah is probably done by now. But to my Jewish brethren, have a happy Hanukkah. To my Muslim brethren, I think Ramadan is over, but I'm not sure when it is this day, so please forgive me. But whatever you celebrate, okay, I wish you the best, all right, and lots of love. And we'll see you next week, but I'll show you my video now of All Is Right with the World. A Christmas Story, a movie that we see so many times during this joyous season, is a young boy whose name is Ralphie and his Christmas wish to receive from Santa the official Red Ryder model air rifle. Ralphie receives a present, and after the Christmas turkey is devoured by the neighbor's dogs, his family enjoys a Christmas dinner in a Chinese restaurant, and Ralphie declares, "All is right with the world." I always enjoyed that saying and use it quite often when, at one brief moment in time, life is going well. I wonder how that moment can be spread indefinitely. In the Gospel story of the Good Samaritan, a person of law asks Jesus on how to receive eternal life. Jesus responds with his 2 commandments. You shall love the Lord your God with all your heart, and you shall love your neighbor as yourself. The person then asks, who is my neighbor? Jesus responds with the well-known parable of the Good Samaritan, the neighbor who helped a man who was robbed and beaten. The beauty of the story of the Good Samaritan is that neighbor has nothing to do with proximity, as in location or vicinity, or with whom we are acquainted. Nor does it have to do with sameness of religion or nationality. We become neighbors when we give aid and comfort to those who are destitute, lonely, or without hope. May we do likewise during this Christmas season and New Year, for only then is all right with the world.